Hi everyone, I'm Misa. Today I'm gonna present our workbook summary of chapter 2. The chapter is about uh, argument, the comprehension of argument, and we will learn how to separate argument from non-argument. If you are ready, let's start it. In this page, there are some keywords about argument. These terms premise, conclusion, and statement. We will learn the meanings of this term in progressing time. Let's move on. And what's an argument? When we think argument, first quarrels come to our minds. But this argument is related to critical thinking. In critical thinking, argument is simply a claim defended with reasons. Arguments make up of one or more premises and a conclusion. Now, we will learn the meanings of terms. The first term is premise. What's the meaning of premise? Premises are statements in an argument submitted as proof or reasons why we should acknowledge another statement. And the other term is conclusion. Conclusion is the statement in an argument that premises are intended to prove or back up. Let's move on. And the other term is statement. Statement is a sentence that can be viewed as either correct or false. There are some examples. The first one is red is a color. The second one is Brazil is in North America. And the third one is abortion is morally false. Some of these examples are true. One of these are true, one of these are false, and one of these are unclear. And the first one is definitely true. Yeah, red is a color. And the second one is definitely wrong. Brazil is in South America. And the third one is unclear. It can change according to culture, according to society, according to mentality of society. Let's move on. Four things should be noted about statements. First, the sentence might be used to explain more than one statement. For example, Aisha is sitting at home and Ali is running outside. In this sentence, there are two cases. This sentence explain more than one statement. Second, a statement can sometimes be expressed as a phrase or an incomplete clause rather than as a complete declarative sentence. For example, with mortgage interest rates at 30-year lows, you owe it to yourself to consider refinancing your home. The third, not all sentences are statements. That's sentences that either assert or deny that something is the case. For example, close the window. It's a common sentence. And I give an example. What time is it? It's a question sentence, maybe. And the other example, let's go to the parents for our anniversary. It's a um, it's a proposal sentence. And finally, statements can be about subjective matters of personal experience as well as objectively verifiable matters of fact. For example, I feel that he is not a confidential person. Reason why he or she think is about person's experience and person's observation. It can be true or false. It's not important. It rests on a person experience. Identifying premises and conclusions. In determining premises and conclusions, we are often helped by indicator words. The indicator words are words or phrases that provide clues that premises or conclusions are being put forward. Premise indicators show that premises are being offered, and conclusion indicators suggest that conclusions are being offered. Here there are some premise indicators: since, because, for, given that, seeing that. These are the words used in reason sentences. I give an example. Since effective reasoning requires reliable information, it's important to be able to distinguish good sources and trustworthy experts from less useful ones. And here there are some common conclusion indicators, and these are therefore, thus, hence, consequently, so. And example, your life is what your thought make it. That's why it's important for all of us to guard our minds from unhealthy habits of thinking, habits that hold us back from what we could be accomplishing. And what is not an argument? We come across arguments everywhere in daily life, at school, at work, at magazine ads, and definitely people don't use language only to offer arguments, but also use language to make jokes, express something as question, say prayers. Let's look at how can we separate arguments and non-arguments from each other. It's quite simple. Something seen as an argument when it's a group of two or more statements, and one of those statements, the conclusion, is claimed or intended to be supported by the others. Now, we look at 5 non-argumentative discourse that they can be confused with argument. The first one is reports. The target of a report is to convey knowledge about a subject. And there is an example of reports. In this report, the number of heart attacks for men and women is contrast, and it gives changes according to years. Briefly, if it gives a short information. And the second one is unsupported assertion. Unsupported assertion are statements about what a speaker or writer happens to believe, and they can be true or false. They are part of argument only if the speaker or writer claims that they follow from or support other claims. And the other one, conditional statement. A conditional statement is an if-then statement. Conditional statements make up of 2 basic parts. The first part, the statement following the word if, is named the antecedent. The second part, the statements following the word that, is termed the consequent. And there is an example: if it rains, then the picnic will be cancelled. Having picnic is dependent to whether or not rain. And the other one is illustration. Illustrations are intended to supply examples of a claim rather than prove or support the claim. I give an example. Many white flowers are edible. For example, daisies and daylilies are delicious in salads. In this, there is illustration rather than argument. It's not convincing proof for consequence. And the last one, explanations. An explanation tries to demonstrate why something is the case, not to prove that is the case. Explanations have two parts. The statement that is explained is the explanandum. The statement that does the explaining is the explanans. I give an example. For example, I fell down because I tripped. The first part is explanandum, and the statement I tripped is the explanans. The reason why he or she fell down is to trip. And that's the end of my presentation. Thanks for listening.